Alright, my friends, let's go ahead and make an answer key here. I always name mine Mrs. Key. Please simplify each of the problems using properties of exponents that we have been studying. Showing work is a good idea. Okay, so let's go ahead and start with these first two. I'm going to rewrite it. Write it as 2 times 5, and then x to the negative 3 times x squared. 2 times 5 is 10. X to the negative 3 times x squared, I add those exponents because I'm multiplying the bases. And then negative exponents, I want to put on the bottom. Here I have x to the 8th over x cubed, so x to the 5th, that's going to be x cubed. You can either think of it as subtracting. You can think of it as being there 8 x's on top and 5 on the bottom, so I cross out 5, I'm left with 3 on the top. You could use what we did on the last one, where it has x to the 8th, x to the negative 5. I'm multiplying, so I add those bases. 8 plus negative 5 is x cubed. We don't care, however you want to think about it. Make sure you put a 1 for this one, because you got pew pew. Multiply this in, that's going to be 3 cubed. And then x to the 4th cubed. You're going to multiply those exponents, so that's going to be x to the 12th. And 3 cubed is 3 times 3, which is 9, times 3, which is 27. Well, this one we got to do the same idea, write an exponent there. So that's going to be 2 to the 4th, x cubed to the 4th. So we got to I'll write it down, x cubed to the 4th, and then y to the 5th to the 4th. So 2 to the 4th is 2 times 2, which is 4, times 2, which is 8, times 2, which is 16. X cubed to the 4th, so that's x to the 12th. And then y to the 5th to the 4th is y to the 20th. The last two on this page. The first set of parentheses I can't do anything with, so let's leave that alone. The second set, put a 1 on that exponent, and let's bring that 3 in. So that's 3 cubed. X to the 4th cubed, we did that above, that's x to the 12th. Y squared cubed is y to the 6th. I get those by multiplying. Pew, 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 so that distributes in. Now let's collect things together. So we have 2 times 3 cubed. That's 2 to the 1, if that makes you feel better. We have x squared, x to the 12th. And then we have y to the negative 3, y to the 6th. I'm in orange right now, so I'm going to start with the y's. Add those exponents, I get y cubed. Now let's go blue. Add those exponents, I get x to the 14th. And let's see. Green's a number. So 3 cubed is 3 times 3, which is 9, times 3, which is 27. And then 27 times 2 is 54. So we did that one. This one, you can think of as two different problems if you want. 24 over 6. And then x to the 4th over x to the negative 2. You can either think of that as subtracting, or you can think of that as writing it as x to the 4th times x squared, because you want to bring the negative exponent stuff up. 24 divided by 6 is 4. And then we can add those exponents. So 4x to the 6th. Solve each equation. So you have x plus 12 equals 20. That's a plus 12, so I better subtract 12 from both sides. And that's going to get me x equals 20 minus 12 is 8. So 12 minus 12 is 0, 20 minus 12 is 8. Beautiful. This is 5x, that's a multiplication problem right there. Divide both sides by 5. You're going to get x equals 3. Ooh, last two. I'm going to subtract 20, first move. That's a plus 20, so in order to undo adding, I subtract. It's going to be 6x equals 8. And then I'm going to divide, because that's 6 times x, divide both sides by 6. And I'm going to get x equals, if you leave it as 8/6, that's fine. If you change it to 4/3, that's fine. You do not have to write it as a decimal or anything. 4/3 is fine. 8/6 is fine. For this next one, there's a couple ways to do this one. I'm going to do it one way. Pew, pew. I think it's going to be the way most of you are doing it. You're going to distribute that. So that's going to be 4x plus 2 times 3, which is 6, is 18. Now I have a plus 6, so I better subtract 6. And then 4x equals 12. That's 4x. The operation between the 4 and the x is multiplication, so we better divide. So x is 3. And that's it.